Hello.
Hello.
Where's the kitchen table gone?
I don't know. Where's my picture gone? Off the wall.
It's
Do you know,
just
it
above
looks
camera
like
shot.
I live in a prison because I had to, the first time he did this, when he was doing a big meeting for Extra Praise, he had the blankest wall like that. He'd moved all my pictures. It just looked like I was having him in
I haven't actually moved them. They're
prison.
just slightly above the camera
look,
shot.
There's a
There you
picture
are.
there.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Yeah, but it's not lovely because it looks like we've just got a big blank wall, Mark. What's going on?
That's okay. Nothing wrong with minimalist.
I don't like it.
It's good to see you guys.
Yeah,
Welcome back.
nice to see you.
After our short week break
We had
last week, we
yeah.
had a lovely time away.
Well,
but
we didn't
it's
go
nice to be
away.
back.
We didn't go away.
No, we had a lovely time.
We did have a lovely time. We did lots of walking in the rain.
Lots of rain walking, yes.
Yeah.
Rain dancing.
Yeah.
No, that's a bit different, that, isn't
Yeah,
it?
no, I wasn't rain dancing.
Yeah.
No.
You were hopping in the rain?
Oh, I was hopping something. Yeah.
Listen,
I was hopping something.
if you are concerned about choosing weeks for holidays
Just never go the
that
same
have
time
good
as us,
weather,
ever.
then find out when
Ever.
we have booked up
And book
and
the
choose
opposite
a different
time.
week.
It doesn't matter what country. Just don't come on holiday at the same time as I have to say he books it.
2 years ago, we booked a holiday in Spain for, I think it was 9 days, and they had the hottest summer, and we arrived there, and the day we arrived, it was gorgeous, absolutely beautiful, and it took us about 3 hours to find out where we were staying. I got completely lost on the hills.
So we got
in this
there about
beautiful place.
midnight. So we lost all that day
so
in
we
the
didn't
car.
enjoy
We could
the-
hardly breathe
and the
because
next
it was so
day
going
it
on. in the car.
rained, and the day after
It was the worst.
and we had rain
summer
for
on record,
7
I
out of
think.
9 days, didn't we?
Yeah, it was
in
like
Spain?
Noah on the Ark, wasn't it? I was expecting to go around collecting all the stray cats to try and put them in a big boat.
The
And,
farmers were very pleased about the rain, weren't they? They were
Yeah.
very delighted. It's always a good sign. It's always someone who's happy
At
about
least it was hot.
something.
Hot. You were hot and sticky, and it was raining.
Yeah, it was quite welcome rain at times, wasn't it?
It was nice. Anyway,
It's so good to see you. I hope you've had a good week. And we're doing
hello,
things...
Andrew. Andrew.
Mark Hammer? Yeah.
How do you say your second name?
He can't actually speak to you because he's watching.
But how is that
I don't know
your
if you know how
second
this
name?
TV thing works.
Hello from Newton. I know who you are, Andrew, but I can't. Your second
It's
name.
because he's added another first
If you
name.
added another name on your second name,
You've turned this into a personal
Mark
conversation now.
Ham Andrew.
No, Mark Hammer.
It's not Mark Hammer. Welcome,
Just
Andrew.
welcome, Andrew.
Yeah, welcome.
Welcome.
Just
And
goes to
welcome everyone else,
Mark Hammer.
however you spell your
Yeah,
name.
welcome. However you spell
It's
your
lovely
name.
to see you.
I
We're doing
like
things a bit
simple
different tonight.
names. We're doing like little short names,
Like
like
Nita.
Nita.
It's not no.
Mark.
It's really important that we say this because some
Don't-
people
don't-
might be
no.
a little bit surprised,
No.
but it's not.
No.
It's not Anita.
And it's not
just,
Rita.
It's just Nita.
Can we do that thing? That thing.
What thing? Well, the duh.
It's not Rita, is it, Mark?
It's not Rita.
Look,
no.
just hurry up.
Duh.
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 It's not Rita.
It's not. No,
that
it's
work?
Nita.
Well-
It did work. Duh.
Duh.
Duh. There you are. We've got
It
our
was
own
really well.
camera.
That's all we were doing for about half an hour before we came on here. Just like absolutely mindless. Absolutely mindless.
So you might be saying, when is this show going to start?
Yeah.
And when are they going to get the guests on tonight?
Well, basically, we haven't got any. That's
haven't
why
got
we're
any.
trying to fill that. We're trying to fill a lot of time just by being idiots, really.
That's not
So-
quite what we're doing.
we are.
We thought it would be a really nice idea because for weeks now, I think this is week 12 of Crazy Hope, and we've interviewed lots.
Hello, Moira.
Will you stop turning things into private conversations?
Sorry,
with
that's my
people?
sister. Hello, Moira.
Lovely to see you, sister. Really is. But there's other people watching as well.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Do we need to have a little tete-a-tete off camera?
Carry on.
So I can't remember what I was saying. Oh, I know what it was. That we've asked lots of other people questions, and we thought it might be quite nice tonight if you guys became the interviewers and you asked us some questions.
Is that too close?
It's okay. It's okay. So if you want to send any questions in, that's a bit close. Yeah, that's a bit close. If you want to send any questions into
Is
us,
that close?
I think it's not so much the word close I'm thinking of. I think it's like it's the word
Is it
slightly
creepy?
annoying.
Okay.
I
I'm
think,
not touching you. I'm not touching you.
Okay, see how close you can get without touching.
I'm not touching. Nearly
Okay.
touched you. Is that annoying?
Is this a real test of your dexterity to see whether you can get close without touching someone?
Hello, Heather.
Another personal conversation.
Hello. Is that touching?
So we've had a few questions sent to us, but let me ask you a question first.
You can always do that with your hands in my face.
Yeah.
Do you know when you're talking and I'm next to you, you just always go like that with your hand over my face? Why do you do that?
Because this is a reveal, isn't it?
So I go like that, and that's annoying, but you can go like that, and that's fine.
It's because you're doing that to be annoying, whereas I'm doing that just to be demonstrative and not realising it's having an impact upon you.
How I know. All right, carry on.
So
do it again. 1, 2, 3. Da.
It's classic TV, isn't it? It's just absolutely.
Oh, mate, is actually
amazing.
anybody watching this? We're meant to have questions.
But we're having fun. That's okay.
People are meant to be sending us questions, and our first question is, Nita, however are you? Well, that's rude. Who sent that in? However are you? However are you? Whoever. That's anonymous.
Do you remember?
Hold on, there's another one. Who's the heaviest, Mark or Nita? That's unbelievable. Who is sending these questions in? I thought they'd be more spiritual than that.
Do you remember we had that comedian at church a few years ago, and he pointed a lady out and he said, "How old are you?" And he said, "I'm really sorry. You should actually never ask a woman her age." So he points to us, "I'm really sorry I did that. Let me change it. How heavy are you?" Yeah. And it was very, very funny.
I thought that was hilarious.
It was.
Anyway, can we have some less personal questions, please?
How old are you?
How old? I'm 49.
How old am I?
You're 2 years younger than me. 47.
So you're the oldest person in the room.
Don't sing that song because it gets on my
It's a good song.
chest.
You are the oldest person in the room.
And we salute you.
Everybody point to Nita.
Mark.
You are the oldest person in the room.
Mark, we are losing viewers fast. This could be the last ever time we're on.
But let's go out laughing, eh?
You are the... People don't even know what it means. It's a stupid joke from Tim Vine, who isn't even funny.
You can't say that. He might be watching.
Sorry, Tim, if you're watching.
He's very funny.
But he is a Christian.
He's a very good comedian. So anyway, I was asking you a question.
What?
It was a bit of a change of
Do
gear.
you know,
really
if
now.
you change the gear, I don't know if I can go back into the gear. I feel I can go into reverse. Can we slide very slowly into some spiritual questions? Because I feel like I need to prepare my heart.
Should we
gently slide into
Should we
something?
surprise our producer, Jason, and just bring him into the mix for a minute?
No, because he'll make me worse.
He's got no idea that we're going to do this.
He'll make me worse.
And I do have some producing powers here, so I can bring him into the room if he
Go on,
refuses,
Jason.
couldn't he?
Shall we
Jason,
call
come
him?
and join us for a
Come on,
second, because you've been a
Jason.
legend.
Hello, Jason.
Hello,
Jason.
Hello,
Good to see
Jason.
you.
Jason, can all three of us go? Duh, duh, duh.
Not really.
No.
No.
Oh.
We're in
All right,
different rooms.
Okay, but if we worked it, he could go. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What are you doing with
Okay.
Jason anyway?
Well, Jason, you've been absolutely busy behind the scenes throughout these Crazy Hopes and many other things, haven't you? And do you have any highlights? I know I'm dropping this on you, but do you have any particular
Okay.
things that have stood out?
Yeah, I mean, this is the highlight.
This is your low point.
This
This is your low point.
It's been so good. It is so weird because, we've been doing online sort of stuff for a long, long time. We get it. You know, we've been talking about it to lots of different people.
I'm glad you get it because not many people do.
and it's weird because when lockdown happened, it kind of what we've been talking about for a long, long time. Everyone kind of had to get it.
Yeah.
Like all the churches have had to change, to learn rapidly, very quickly. And it's amazing the knowledge that's been shared, the skills that have been learned. So I think it's just been such a massive shift for churches. You know, we've come so far. We're never going to go back now. You know, so many churches have understand the power of Zoom. What Zoom is, it's not called a Zoom, but it is a program. So it's incredible.
somebody just saying, Jason, I love you, appreciate you. That's Amber Litho.
Oh,
Sorry,
very
she's just
thankful.
saying to you,
Look at that.
Jason is
Admire
awesome.
then.
We all love.
I got very excited. I
Two
thought.
kisses. 2 kisses. And Dale, you gave me 2 kisses as well. Hello, Dale. That's my brother-in-law. He's married to my sister, Moira.
Jason, just give a little bit of an idea, because a lot of people won't have a clue about this. But how many churches do you think that we, and primarily you, have helped get online over this lockdown period?
It must be something like 200 plus.
No way.
It must be loads. Like even today, our another great church in Exeter Network Church. I was on a Zoom call with them, and they're talking about how to use Facebook ads and alpha and all that sort of stuff. So and it honestly, loads of different churches, all different styles of churches. And trying to help and resource them, and so it has been really exciting. Get to know lots of different people, and it's been really, really, really cool.
Fantastic.
Oh, that is amazing.
Can I just
Jason,
point
you're
something out
brilliant.
a second? Can I just introduce you all to my world a little bit, right? This is my brother-in-law, Dale.
Yeah.
This is the message he
You got
sends
no kisses?
to Nita.
I got two
So
kisses.
look at it carefully, and then to be compatible, he sends me a message as well.
And he's got
And there's
Zero.
no kisses,
Zero kisses
whatsoever.
Zero kisses.
And to compound it,
hi, Jason.
you've got no kisses
you got
either.
Zero kisses. But you did have two off Amber Life, though. Thank you, Anne.
There we go.
I'm looking through the thread. I can't find any kisses.
I
in there for
actually
me.
don't think it counts. And Moira's got it right. Hello, Mark and Nita. No.
Oh, there we go. That's
That's
the way
a standard
to do
there.
it.
7, God's number. 7 kisses. That's God's number right there. I'm telling you now. Doesn't count unless it's 7. Sorry,
It's true, it's
Dale.
true.
Jason,
Two's better than none, though.
You have been an absolute legend during this time, and your work has been incredible behind the scenes, and we're so grateful to you for all that you've done and all that you continue to do in this really fantastic role that you're helping us all serve with. So thank you for being that side of the screen so often, the side that people can't see, but making the rest of us all work as it should. So amazing to you. And
You're
thanks for letting us drop in on you tonight as well.
No worries.
Yeah.
I'll back
And I know, Jason, that you often you've been grieving a little bit this week because you've been running quiz nights for the last 2 months or so, 3 months. And one of the highlights of the quiz night has been the how do you say? Is it kazoo?
Kazoo. I think
kazoo?
highlight is a definitely interesting word. I think it is. Yeah, highlight. Shall I grab my kazoo?
We will give you some time to practice, and we'll come back to you before the end of the show.
Interesting. I like
And
it.
so it's just a bit of a cliffhanger for people.
It's good.
So if we're absolutely rubbish, at least there's something that
will
they
be
go, we
I'm
really
must,
very good.
disappointed.
we
I'm
must
very
stay on
good.
for.
We've got let's clap Jason. Yeah,
yeah.
clap Jason.
Yeah, here we go.
Salute
Whoa.
him.
So well done, Jason.
Thank you,
And come back in
Jason.
a few moments after
Yeah.
you've
Will do.
rehearsed
No
your
problems at all.
kazoo, and
Yeah.
we'll enjoy that bit of a competition
Sounds
later
fun.
on.
No worries.
Brill.
See you
Thanks,
later.
Jason.
Bye. I've got a question for you, Mark, off Brian. Are you ready for this?
It depends what the question is. but
Well,
I'll
I'm not.
try.
I'm telling you, aren't I? Is Mark still involved with Elim's national leadership? He was before this show went out. No. Is Mark still involved with Elim's national leadership team?
no.
Like he was a few years ago? Yeah.
No,
Brian? No, he's not.
I stood off that a few years ago because I felt God asking me to concentrate more on the Southwest. So still in regular communication and regular fellowship with lots of those guys who are involved in leading Elim. And it's a real privilege to be part of that. But I don't sit on that team any longer.
No, you don't. But that's a very serious question,
It's
and we
very
thank
serious.
you very
What a
much.
gear change that was.
That was a gear change.
We've got some other questions here.
Where did they come from? Have you made those up?
No,
In
I
case
put-
nobody wanted to give us questions.
Some people have been really organised. They've been sending questions over the last couple of days. So I've printed them out on old school paper. Remember that? Sorry, trees.
Sorry, I'm just doing it on my own.
Someone asked earlier on, as we came on live, actually, if we were given £8 million, what would we spend it on for the church?
Sorry, I'm just looking at all the kisses Dale's given you. There you go. So shut off.
It doesn't say they're for me,
You've
though.
got to, no, Dale. You haven't
It-
put the
it-
kisses for Mark.
It doesn't designate them to a person, does
Sorry.
it? So
And we missed the quiz night, Stacey. So hobbies, right? Outside. What's your hobby, Mark?
that's not what I just asked. I just asked a completely different question to that. I said somebody wrote in earlier on and said if there was a gift of £8 million came to the church. I'm not sure if they're
Oh, that
offering.
one. Yeah, the 8
what,
million.
What would we spend it on?
What would you spend it on?
Oh, where would we start?
Well, What would you spend it on?
There's so much.
New building? Could we get a new building for 8? Is that 8 million?
Yeah, we could make a good start with it. But we.
Oh no, we could get
there's
a
so
couple
many
of
things,
buildings.
isn't there? There's so many things.
Yeah.
Like today, there's been a load of us at the church today, packing bags of hampers for people who are really struggling, and what an opportunity that is to be the hands and the feet of Jesus into our community. And there's so many of those needs. We're surrounded by so much desperate need around us. So 8 million, I think I could spend that in a few hours, really, if I'm honest.
Well, you've always got things you could spend it on, isn't it? So, and it's all for.
It's a good question, though.
Yeah, it is a good question.
Certainly, we do feel, and those of you who are new to Rediscover, we've been sensing for a number of years that God has been asking us, promising us that He's got a new building for us. And while new buildings they do involve lots of money, they do actually create an asset for the ministry as well that serves the next generation and future generations, and it gives them something that they can build on. And I'm keen to think not just the generation of my leadership in the church, but the multiple generations that are ahead. And in fact, none of these big decisions we make, we think just about in the present. We think, what will this be like for the church in 20, 30 years' time? Even beyond that, 50 years' time. And I think we need to think more long-term around these things in church leadership. Too much short-term thinking has driven church for many years, but we have to think multi-generation.
We do.
We do.
What? Your phone's just going off. What's that about?
For some reason, I don't know, it's a bit spooky. BBC News has just started playing on my phone. Must have been a big announcement of some sort.
What was it? Was it?
I don't know, it's just BBC News. I'm not reading it, I'm talking to the camera.
Mark.
Focusing.
Mark.
No, Jason wasn't
that was
ready
spooky.
for
It was. Hold
No,
on,
it wasn't.
Jason.
Duh.
That was actually quite spooky, wasn't it?
I hope you're finding that funny, because I don't think anybody else is.
Well, that's because we can't hear them laughing.
Okay, look at some of these questions that were sent in.
Okay.
What do you do to relax? This is from Paul and Dorothy. What do you do to relax outside church activities? And what's your favourite hobby?
So I'm just looking at. Is
question's to
that
me,
our
yeah.
treasury man? Who's this person with £8 million? I can help them with our church bank details.
Yes.
Just saying.
Phil, our finance officer,
Yeah, just said he'll give you. Who's the person with the 8 million? He's got the church bank details.
Well done, Phil. Never miss a trick. That's so
Well
good.
done.
Brilliant.
Oh, thank you, Anthony.
Yeah, there was a question.
Oh, that's kind. Keep safe. You keep safe too, Anthony, my friend. What are we doing? I am listening. What are we doing to relax? You'd never believe I was listening, would you? It's a bit blokish, really, because blokes never give you the full attention, do they? It's unlike a woman to be like that.
What was that?
So,
What do you do to relax
do I do
outside
to
of church activities? And what is your favourite hobby?
well,
This is relaxing, isn't it?
this is quite.
This is like a therapy session for the pastors, isn't it? We get to just spill it all out.
Yeah, well,
And you get to ask us questions and just help us work it through. It's good.
okay. Yeah, no, I do like crocheting. That sounds a little bit boring and a bit thing, but I actually, and I've been looking at that Sophia from our church, one of our young adults, she's been no, don't
Look
show
at
that because
this.
that's not very good. Put it
brilliant.
back. Put it back.
You've never
not
done
that
do anything
one.
good.
No, I do. I've got better ones than that. I don't like that one. Got loads of things upstairs. Sorry.
Was that a bit of pride there?
No, I just
You need to pray
tied.
like that.
That's
Do you need
tied.
to-
No, I don't. I don't
you
like that
sure?
one.
Don't you be
Yeah.
set free from
No. Anyway, I find it quite relaxing to crochet, but it has to be perfect. So, and I also like walking with my dogs, but not in the rain.
Hey, we haven't
Not
got
in the
any
rain in
dogs
Spain.
in the show tonight.
Well, we have her scratching at the door there. Just some big rats. And what's your hobbies?
I enjoy walking. We've had some lovely walks.
We
haven't
have, haven't we?
I enjoy reading. I do lots of reading. And
How many books do you read a day?
I don't think I read a book a day.
No, you do. I say
No, I don't.
because you speed read. How many books do you read a week?
Possibly just 1 to 2 a week, probably.
1 to 2 a week. Is that all?
Yeah, probably.
Do you know, I'm so bad with my this isn't because I have got about I don't know 6 or 7 Bible studies in a row, and I keep dibbing and dabbing out of. I get bored and I go to another one, I go to another one, I go to another one. So I'm always doing them, but not with consistency, like the same one, because I'll go in and out, 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 and that's made me so behind with my Bible in a year. I'm like literally a year behind. I'm in July now, but July last year. That's how behind I am. I thought, Carol, hang on, man. I thought I'm actually up to date with this, and I looked, and it was like 2019. So I'm that bad in my Bible. I'm literally a whole year behind. But what I'm saying is, I have got like loads of things on the go. So I do think
those, and we've launched them at Rediscover. I do think there's a lot of people who talk about the Bible in a year being too big a challenge for lots of people. And I remember a number of years ago, I went to see a leadership consultant just to get some advice and just some coaching really on my leadership. And this person has coached all sorts of high-level leaders over the years. What are you touching the screen for? It's not even touch screen.
No, I'm not.
You're trying to scroll the screen and it doesn't do that.
I'm not, man. I'm not. I'm just...
We'll come to that in a minute.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of
I know.
giving an answer at the moment.
Come on.
It's okay. And I remember them saying to me, so often we think that life is like a big marathon. And,
marathon.
And we have to, it's about endurance. But she said, to be honest, the reality is that life is probably more like a whole series of short 100-meter sprints. And you run hard and then you rest, you run hard and then you rest. And I think some people love that endurance stuff. And the Bible in the year certainly is that. I think I'm 7 days ahead on my Bible in a year.
Oh, well, that's typical, isn't it? Oh, here we go. Because he speed reads, you see. I read it.
I try my best not to speed read the scriptures.
Say, like your question there, that's a question there. Do you know what he'd do? He'd just read the important words like church, relax. That's on the top row. Favourite and hobby. All them small words in between. He speed reads. He just goes, church activities, and it goes in his head, and he's read it really quickly. Whereas I read it, and then I think, what the hell have I just read? And then I read it again, and then I read it again.
That's why we're so different. None of us are cookie cutters, are we? And we're not meant to be.
I'm not a cookie. Cookie? Are you a cookie?
No,
I'm not a cookie cooker. Cookie cutter. What is? Do you know, can I just say, I'm slightly having a breakdown because my daughter is getting married on Saturday.
Yay!
So I think
At last. Rearranged it last minute and it's happening
I think
Saturday.
I'm literally having a breakdown in front of everybody.
Hey, no, don't do that.
No, I won't. Anyway, Karen, we've got questions coming in here.
We've got some good
Cookie
questions
cutters.
coming in.
Yeah.
Some people are asking questions.
Somebody wants
somebody, Alamede. Hi guys, my name.
Sorry if we didn't pronounce your name right.
And I'm coming to Exeter in September to start a research degree. What's the best way to get plugged into church? Well, moving to Exeter is a good start. It's a good way of getting plugged in. Of course, we've got lots of online things taking place for those who live elsewhere. But coming to Exeter, there is so much taking place. We have things on throughout the week taking place day and even in the life of the church. We've got some great rhythms and community, and we've had people who have really, even without coming into our building and meeting other people in person, have got into some of our rhythms, like our daily communions, our devotions, that we do Bible reading plans together, and we try and do a new one every week. For those who like the short 100-meter dashes, it's a really appropriate way of doing it. And we've got so many things. So if you're coming as a student, I'm not quite sure what age you are as a student, but we've got a brilliant young adults ministry and students that they have a real vibrant community. And we're about to say goodbye to a lot of them, actually, because, sadly, every year we have this beautiful cycle where we welcome new people, and we have this other part of that cycle where we say goodbye to people who finish their studies. So we're about to say goodbye to a lot of people this weekend who we're going to miss greatly. But we would love to welcome you to the city and to the church, Bissy, and we would really want to adopt you into the family and make this time a time that you'll thrive, rather than just study and find a church, but you thrive and thrive abundantly in the things of God. So we'd love to help you to do that. And you can contact office@rediscoverchurch.com, and we can introduce you to various people who can do that. I know we had some other questions.
We've got
around
quite
that as
a
well.
few actually coming in now. Just
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
we
What
have
you
got.
choose one?
Well, I don't like choosing one because that means somebody's just going to be missed out, isn't it?
Well, we can't do everybody, but we should
Um,
never not do for one because you can't do for all.
oh, yeah, I know. See, I know that's true, but that grates on me a bit. That does.
Well,
But I know it is true. It is true, but it's still just a bit. Ooh. Okay, because I
Go on,
don't
choose
like
one.
missing people out. Have you guys? Were you saying choose one and then you're pointing at the one I'm going to choose?
Okay.
Okay, Neil Lucas, have you guys faced any new challenges through this difficult time of COVID? Obviously, you're talking about there. New challenges. I think for me, if I'm honest, I think just before we went into this lockdown, we'd started this 40 days Daniel fast, which started on the February the 13th or 12th or 11th or something. And we invited the church to go 40 days doing a Daniel fast, setting rhythms, like we're talking about the rhythms we're doing now with communion. Well, we were telling them about setting regular rhythms, changing their eating habits, choosing to fast in some way. Didn't have to be a full Daniel fast or something, and setting that time that you would preparing meals, just seeking God. So we were already in a sort of fasting, seeking God process. Then lockdown came, and I think I found some really good rhythms of getting up early, even though I wasn't physically going out to work, probably getting up earlier than I've done since I've had babies, like really early set, and then meeting with God again at dinner and having that time because I had space to do that in between what we were doing online here. And I think I almost burnt myself out doing that. That sounds really crazy because I know when you wait on the Lord, He renews your strength. And I don't know if it was just trying to keep things new and fresh and trying to keep things and doing things online and things and trying not that to become draining and boring, because after a while everything is always good when it's fresh and it's new. It's like honeymoon, hey? But then when you've started doing things for weeks and weeks, we're not even talking years, we're just talking a couple of months, things can lose the novelty. And it's that challenge of keep pressing in, of keep seeking God, of keep reading the word. And I can't say I've had any really big flashbang wallop God encounters during my times that I've been spending with God. But I know that looking back that I am changing the way I talk is changing, the habits are changing, desires are changing, things that I watch are changing, things that I'm not really interested in anymore are changing. And but I found that a challenge to keep that love, because I really believe this is a time God is preparing for us to come back after Him as number one love. He's wanting Him to be our only desire. He wants to be the number one, our one thing. He wants to be our one desire, our one focus. He wants to be the everything. He wants to be on the throne, in our home, in our lives. And He's so gracious and He's so kind. And going back to that, if you've missed a day reading the Bible and you haven't got those, He's not there with a massive stick walloping you on top of the head because you forgot to read that. We're not under law anymore by this. He's not thinking you're a big loser just because you haven't got rhythms or you're wobbling a bit. He is so gracious and He is so kind, and He always has His arms open for us. I think I answered the question, but I'm not sure that I did.
Very good, very honest.
It was very honest, yeah.
I think in life I found that often my greatest, and it's not just for me, but my greatest strength is often my greatest weakness as well. And so, you mentioned I read quick, and that can be a great advantage because I can get through lots of books, but it can also be a great disadvantage because I can miss the guts of something. And actually, I've got to be honest with you, sometimes I'm more interested in finishing the book than I am enjoying the book. And that's a part of the downside, the negative part of the strength that I have. And I think that happens a lot. And one of my other strengths is I'm an opportunist. So this time of challenge has presented a whole blank sheet of paper for some opportunism. And I felt inspired by it. I felt the Spirit of God has inspired me. I feel that there's never been a time in my ministry where I feel God has asked me to do something and I've said no. I feel the Lord has found in me someone that will just be prepared to give it a try and even fail. And I've got plenty of failures in my ministry and some successes as well. And I think I'm just someone who, when I see those opportunities, I'm prepared to say, hey, let's just go for this. And so we've tried and experimented with quite a lot of new things during this time. And I don't think really for many years in ministry that I felt as tired as I had done. I recognized about 3 weeks ago that I probably had overdone it a bit. I thought I'd had pretty decent rhythms in my life, but I think just that continual pioneering and pushing out and innovating and creating new things. Some of the new things that we've created during this lockdown, together with a team, we've built a whole range of new relationships across the Southwest. And our vision as a church is to reveal the glory of God to the Southwest and beyond. And we've been very clear about that coming into 2020. That's the call of God upon the church. And so during this time, we've networked with leaders all across the Southwest, people from all denominations and streams, and we've been joining together in prayer. And those things didn't exist before the lockdown. It's been an amazing thing. But the amount of work it creates to make that happen, to keep those relationships moving forward, it takes quite a lot of energy. And we've had loads of those plates being spun around the room. And I think the challenge I found was just managing that. And I put a blog post up a couple of weeks ago that said the next season we're about to step into needs leaders to be fresh, not exhausted. And
it's a great... Oh, and you've got some great blogs, isn't it? You had that and the one on worship. Those blogs are brilliant. You're so good at those.
But the one that sort of said that, because I think our toughest season is ahead. And I'm sorry if you've had a really tough time during this lockdown and you're thinking, it's almost over, I can't wait. I really do think, if I'm honest, that some of the greatest challenges for society are the next step now. And we need to be the prophetic voice of God. Society doesn't need us to be shattered. It doesn't need us to be deflated. It doesn't need us to be discouraged. It needs us to be prophetic, full of hope, real, absolutely authentic, to be able to say, and I've got to be honest with you, I don't think there's been many times in probably 27 years of ministry that I've ever said, I feel tired, because I'm conscious that some of you have been working on the front line during this time.
I've never, ever heard you say that. And
I think as a shepherd, you think it's always about the sheep. It's not about me, and I don't enjoy the attention that comes my way. So to say that's quite a big thing for me, quite releasing, but quite counter-instinctive for me. But I put it out there not to say, hey, thank you for your prayers during a holiday. And, I do feel refreshed and renewed by that wet walking week last week. But there is something that I'm trying to communicate through it. And that is that if you do have tiredness in your life, if you are burnt out and exhausted, then God wants to minister to you. And he wants you to be refreshed. And some of you need to take some breaks. And whether that means going away, whether that means you can afford to do anything.
Some just need to learn to say no.
Yeah.
And kill this FOMO, this fear of missing out. And this evil idol of FOMO, of not being popular, not being out there, not being seen to be. Some of you just need to kill it. And just learn to graciously say no to people. Because... people. No, I won't say that out loud. I've got this really good strapline in my head, but it sounds really savage. So it sounds really good in my head, but if it comes out, it's going to be real savage. So I'm going to leave it there because I love Jesus and I love you guys as well. We've just completely diverted. This is a fun question. I think it's gone now, but somebody said, or I don't know if it was Jason. What was I'll ask you because I know what it was. If you had a wedding, if you had a when you get up and do your dance at your wedding, whatever that's called, the wedding dance or the bride and groom song, what song was it? Did we have one, and what song was it? I can remember because I think I chose it. And you got to remember, it was nearly 30 years ago. So for all the people,
I'm gonna guess, but it's in the back of my mind. I'm having the time of my life, and I've never been this way before. That's not it, is it? Is that it? No?
it was flipping. Are you having a laugh?
I don't.
It was Endless Love, My Love.
Oh yeah, that's a great song.
No, I'll forget that. It's ended. Don't know about endless. It's over, Mark.
If we have enough,
You couldn't remember our wedding dance. Endless Love, My Love.
I was
Lionel Richie, you're everything that I
was-
need. You're the thing that makes me breathe, or something like that. And you thought I was having the time of my life.
You were so beautiful. I wasn't even aware there were other people in the room. So how could I remember a song? I was just captivated. I had just managed to marry you.
Whoever had that
cares?
question,
Who
I'm telling you
cares about
now.
the songs?
Anyway, great question. I care. Believable.
Maybe if enough people text in, we could do that dance one week on
You
Crazy
forget
Hope,
it.
eh?
Forget it.
We
You've
could
had that
recapture
now.
our first dance moment.
I'll recapture something in a minute. No.
Ah,
Anyway, that's a
okay.
lovely question. Any advice? What advice would you give to your younger? I had that song too. Kathy had that song. All right, Kathy. She had that song. See, it was popular in that 30 years ago, wasn't it? What would you? Who said that? What would you ask? Somebody asked a question. What would you say? Any advice you'd give to your younger self?
No, any advice you would take from your younger self was the question.
To take from your younger self?
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
So if you could talk to a younger version of you, what do you think the younger version of you could tell you now you're older that would help you? That's how I read the question.
No, what would I say to my younger
No,
self
that's
to
not-
help that my younger self be better?
That's not what the question was, I don't think.
What
But,
would the younger self say to me?
Yeah,
Why that don't make sense?
I think that was the question.
No, it was what that it was. What would I tell my younger self? Can we do a different question?
So I think my younger self
No, but this
would,
doesn't make sense.
would say to me, of course it does. You can say it anyway. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. Thanks, Kez, for that affirmation.
Sorry,
my,
Kez.
My nice comeback to Nita. That's good. Thank you for recognising that.
Remember this wedding song, Mark? Yeah.
So when I was younger, I started out in ministry really young, and I remember feeling like
You didn't remember your wedding song, did you?
I felt intimidated, I think, by older people in ministry. And I think that sense of feeling inadequate and intimidated was quite a feature of my youthful ministry. And I remember someone quoting the verse that was given to Timothy, "Don't let anybody look down on you for your youth." And I think my younger self would say to me, don't let anything keep you away from the purposes of God, because even in older life, it may not be age so much. It might be conscious of my baldness, or it might be conscious about I'm not as good as speaking as someone else. It might be a whole range of things, but don't let any of those comparisons keep you away from the purposes of God. I know what God's called me to do. I know what He's asked me to be, and I just need to go for it. And I think my younger self would try and encourage me on that.
Mm.
There you are. Got an answer out of that.
That's good.
Don't touch what you can't afford.
Oh, that's my line. Ooh, that's the line I normally give to you. Thank you, Marky. That's a good question.
Anyway, we had another question that says, I've noticed that your social life includes people from the church. So what mechanisms do you use to keep a part of your working life private and separate from your job? It's a great question. And I guess for me, it highlights one of those things that I feel is really different. I don't really feel like I'm a professional, and I don't really feel like I do a job. I feel like I've got a vocation that I've just been blessed and honored to be able to carry out. And that provides some great opportunities. So blurred lines are very difficult for me at times because I love what I do.
I think inevitably, if we whether we were going to have a meal with some non-Christian friends or meet up with non-Christian friends, or go to visit people in the church, we always end up talking about God, Jesus, or the church. So it never doesn't appear in the conversation. And it is lovely, and it's an honor, and it's a privilege. I think sometimes I get annoyed because I just think, oh, I view it with the wrong eye. Sometimes it's like, oh, can we not talk shop now? But it's not the church is our lifestyle. Jesus and God and the kingdom of God needs to be our culture and our lifestyle, but it just automatically overflows. So I think to switch off, this sounds really awful. I think we probably only properly switch off. I'm going to throw this out there. I don't know if you feel this. If we're probably by ourselves, because we haven't got to. He'll always say to me, "I'm thinking of doing this blog. I'm thinking of doing that blog." In fact, I write most of his blogs really, because he's not that good at doing that, and his sermons as well. I was thinking of preaching about this, so I write all his sermons and just go, so all those sermons, and he doesn't write mine though, because I don't do them very often. So he's always running ideas and things past me normally before they hit you guys, and he has a lot of ideas, and so I'm a real bouncing, what do you call it, bouncing board or
Tigger.
What? Tigger. I'm not a Tigger.
Bouncing.
I was thinking of that word then, flange. Do you know what that word means?
I do. Yeah, it's a sound effect.
We started. Have you ever got words that you don't understand, you just don't like? Well, Jason and Mark were talking about a flanger before, and that to me sounds gross.
Every musician.
I have no idea what a flanger is,
but
anyway, I didn't even know that. And a bouncing board. I'm a bouncing board for Mark to get all his sounding board. Thank you, Daniel Bishop. Yeah, for a lot of Mark's ideas and things. So sometimes on holiday, we talk in church and we're talking things, and then other times we just don't talk about it at all. And very often we're quite quiet. If we go for these long walks, I'm normally about 10 paces in front of him, but he's behind. And people are struggling to believe you tonight.
No,
and it sounds weird. I'm not necessarily thinking about the church. I'm normally just like talking to God or something. I do love talking to God when we're walking. So I just see that as that's not a job, that's not a chore, that's just praying, isn't it? But it's easy when I'm walking. It's particularly easy when I'm walking. I find it a real sweet spot if I'm out and walking. And you don't necessarily like praying out loud when we're together. You internally pray. So I guess we're both praying a lot, but internally, if I move a bit more in front, I can start saying it out loud. Anyway, so where did that come from? So yeah, so it is really difficult. We really love and value our church family and all the support that they give us, and our non-Christian family and our blood family. But we always end up talking about God and the church, and it's. I don't know how you do. It's almost like we don't have a lot. They're not going to want to hear about my crochet, are they? They're not. They might want to hear about my crazy dogs. We do have crazy conversations as well, but yeah.
And I think we do really genuinely feel like church is a family, not a congregation. And I think that's really important. And we don't. Yeah. Some people we get to know more than others. Yeah. We'd love to get to know everybody. I think one of the challenges for us as the church has grown has been that we can't get to know everybody to that level in the same way now. And it's also we have to come to terms with that. That's just the reality
of people being jealous. I'm sure nobody does get jealous in the church, but I always have this thing where do people think we've got favourites?
I get jealous when people give you kisses and they don't give me kisses on the comments. But that's
you. I like having kisses.
Do you know time is gone?
I like having
kisses.
Did
you know that?
No, I was making an appointment thing though about favourites and stuff. So very often,
did you just say?
If we are doing stuff on Facebook, or not Facebook, if we are doing stuff, we don't tend to post it because we are quite private, and because of people thinking, oh well, they've been there and they haven't been here. Maybe we haven't been to yours because you haven't asked us, or they haven't come to this, or they haven't come to that, or they haven't done there. So I think we're very careful and guarded on that view in case of being seen to have favourites or being seen to have somebody's. Probably we go to certain people's houses because they ask us the most, or pretty locked down. But I think we're just very careful of that. I know you're looking at your watch now and saying, shut up. So yeah, we're quite private, Just get out my face. Stop it.
Don't touch what you can't afford.
Anyway. Can't touch us.
Anyway, time has gone. Listen, the viewing figures are now going into
break it down.
going into a deficit figure. So we've got one more thing to do before we go. Thank you so much for sending your questions in to us tonight.
Thank you. They were very good. Apart from the one about how heavy are we? That was rude. Vile.
But we did promise that there would be a highlight feature to close. We've kept this cliffhanger going for you. And that is Jason coming back in with his kazoo. He's been
Jason,
busy rehearsing.
Come on, Jay.
So
limbering up.
we now, Jason, are you ready to go to give us?
Ready to go. I tell you, if people are looking forward to this, are going to be bitterly disappointed. I tell you, here we go. Right, track one.
Crescendo moment.
Well, interesting. Okay, so comment below if you can guess the song. Here we go. Here we go.
Hawaii 5-0.
Yes, that's it. Bing,
You
ding.
know Hawaii 5-0?
Okay, here we go.
Oh, sorry. Hound dog. You ain't looking for a hound dog.
Correct. Ding, ding, ding. Here we go.
Jason, I'll hold your mouth while you do it.
What? Let it be.
That is correct. Ding, ding, ding. That is correct. Here we go.
Sorry, everybody else. You've not had a chance.
Go, no, one more.
Here we go. One more. Here we go.
Congratulations.
When skies are grey.
Oh, that's my favourite song. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy. When skies
Jason,
are grey.
there's a request
You never
coming.
know, dear,
There's a
how much I
request?
love you.
Oh,
There's a request. Could you perform Mark and Nita's wedding song, please?
Go on, Jace.
Right, now this is a bit... Which one was it?
know
Was
it's
it yours, Mark? Or was it yours, Nita?
It's endless love, Jason.
Was it? Oh, was it? Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's endless love. Do you even know it?
Oh, is it this one?
It's that one, Jason.
Is that it?
Oh, Jason.
Were you at our wedding? Because that sounds just like how it was played in the wedding.
There we go. See,
I was taken back 28 years ago to the moment there. Thank you for that. Beautiful.
I'll try my best.
Thanks.
That's all I can do.
Well, our time is gone. We've used up all our 50p's and the electric meter, so we have to go. Well done, all of those who've stuck with us to the end tonight.
Yeah, all 31 of you.
Well done to you.
Actually, it's 30. One's just gone as a second.
So this is just on one platform, by the way. So
That's the one, so I think there might be a bit more than 30, but never mind.
We are so grateful that you joined us this evening. Thank you for participating.
Thank you, Heather Whitmore Pryor.
And,
Brill. See, she liked me, not you, Mark. She likes me. No kisses, though.
We look forward to being in contact with you all really soon. We're back next Wednesday for more shenanigans again at 8 o'clock, and we do hope you can join us then.
Will we have a famous guest?
Ooh, we have to wait and see.
Does that mean we've run out?
No. We've got a few invitations out with some people, but
invitations out, so we won't be here then.
Well, we'll see.
Invitations. Thank you. 5 kisses. Thank you.
Bless you guys. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. This has been Crazy Hope. My name's Mark. This is Nita.
Yeah.
And we look forward to seeing you soon. God bless you.
Bye.
Stay safe. Bye-bye.